Good time zone, Gen Friends, and welcome to CrossGen Friends, your gaming, pop culture, and tech podcast with a multi-generational point of view. I am Joe LaRussa, and with me, as always, is my good friend, Byron Miller. Byron Miller, how are you today, sir?
I am doing pretty good, Joe. I have a question for you. What's your happy place this week?
Yeah, my happy place this week, it's kind of forward looking, but it's really Valentine's Day and a 3-day weekend. So we're recording this early. Normally we'd been recording on Sundays. We're going to switch that over to a Saturday recording now for some scheduling conflicts. But yeah, my happy place, it's kind of preemptive. I'm expecting it's going to be a pretty good Valentine's Day today. Got some nice plans with my fiance Jing, and we're gonna go for a nice Italian meal at our favorite local. Well, it's my favorite local. I think it's her second favorite local. The one that she likes more is a little bit farther away, and I don't know. We chose this one because I think last time we went to the other one, we kind of just rotate back and forth as to whose we go to. So we're going to one of our favorite Italian restaurants that's nearby. And then it's President's Day in the US, so we have a nice long 3-day weekend looking to kick back, not do any work or think about work or talk about work. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm just gonna keep chilling this weekend as much as I can and play some games and relax, and we'll see what else I manage to find time for. But I think that's about it. That's about it. What about you, Byron?
First, that's totally cheating because that's your happy place for next week and not this week. But with
But it would have been this week if we'd kept our normal schedule because
Valentine's Day, at least President's Day
right.
does not count.
Well, it would have been a part of the weekend. It would have been mid-weekend next
What do
week.
they say?
Valentine's Day
What's
would
the
have been in
joke
the
about
past.
if my aunt was something something, she would have been my uncle? I'm not going to go further than that. But yeah, so I'll tell you what my happy place is. I'll double up on this. First of all, we did our Valentine's last night. We had dinner with some friends. We went out to it's a newer restaurant in the town that I live, and they do American cuisine. And I say American cuisine, and then I'm going to tell you something that I got that is totally not American cuisine. But we went out with our friends. They were doing the Valentine's Day dinners. None of us ordered the Valentine's Day dinner because there were other things that we wanted. My wife and the husband in our couple friends, they both got duck. The
Nice.
wife, God, I can't remember what she got. Oh, she got shrimp scampi.
That
And
was nice.
I ordered off the appetizers because they had what I wanted. I got steak tartare for my dinner because I love steak tartare. It is one of my favorite things to do, and it came out with house made chips, and so I was able to use that. I don't like potato chips by and large. I don't care about them. It's about what you eat with them. But these were fantastic with the steak tartare, and I got some broccolini, and I love that. And then at the end, I did order red velvet cake off the Valentine's list because I love a good red velvet cake, and it was pretty good. We all had mixed drinks before dinner, and that was fantastic. There's not much that I don't like alcohol wise, except I do not like tequila. But I
Does
and
it make your clothes fall off?
It does not. I just don't like the taste of it. I like everything else really. The funny thing is and this will blend together. I promise it'll make sense. I love bourbon. I love whiskey. I do not like whiskey drinks. If I'm going to drink my bourbon, I want it to be just over rocks. So I don't care for an old fashioned. It just does absolutely nothing for me. I'd rather have the
You're
whiskey
not
or
getting
the
a whiskey sunrise?
nope tequila sunrise.
They do whiskey sunrises too.
I've never heard of that. I've heard about I've heard of tequila sunrises. Yeah. So anyway,
Whiskey
they had
sours.
whiskey
Yeah.
sours. That's a different drink too. I have a whole different aside with that someday. But I had an old fashioned made with mezcal because I do like mezcal, just not tequila. So I know I'm complex, and it was fantastic. And then we had wine with dinner, and that was very good. And then I stopped drinking because somebody needed to drive home, and that person was me. But it was a fantastic evening with friends, and we hang out with them fairly frequently. But it's always good to like put on your nice clothes and go out to dinner and
Hmm.
everybody have a good time. And for us, it was a new place, so
Yeah.
it was a good time, and it was nice to do quasi Valentine's Day with friends.
There's a song called Whiskey Sunrise from 2020 by Chris Stapleton as well, if you didn't know that.
Is he a country singer?
Yeah.
That's why I didn't know that.
It's a shame.
Nope,
Uh,
it's not.
yeah. So we don't normally. Our anniversary is pretty close to Valentine's Day, so we tend to merge them as like we'll just do one big thing on like our anniversary day, and then we'll have a low key Valentine's Day. I guess this year we just decided to do it a little bit bigger because it's our first Valentine's Day and it was our first anniversary being engaged. So just trying to celebrate them both and make them a little bit more special for the uniqueness of the year. And then we'll probably only have one more Valentine's Day engaged, depending on when we schedule the wedding for. So
Well, you do
that's
you. So I said I was going to double up the second happy place, and I don't have much to say about it yet. I did finally get a Switch 2. It came this morning at 5:30 a.m. I was awake to receive it, partially because I had just woken up then and saw that it was out for delivery and just decided that I was going to stay up and wait for it so I don't get Joe LaRussa. I have taken it out. I have put a screen protector on it. I have set it up on my TV, transferred my Switch over to it. And honestly, that's about it. I made sure that it works and nothing else yet.
why the screen protector if you're not taking it out of the thing right now. Like you
I
just
mean,
put it on to have it.
I will. Yeah. I mean, you
Oh,
put it on when it's as clean as possible. It makes it a lot easier to put it on. I still cleaned it just to
I
make
was gonna
sure
say I
that it
usually
was good.
clean it.
Yeah.
I like for my phones I use Gorilla Glass. Do you use Gorilla Glass screen
I
protectors?
I do not for my phones. I use the Spigen. I've always had good success with them. For the Switch, I looked at the Spigen and I ended up going with a different brand. It's like AM Glass or something. I saw a couple different websites that listed that as one of their top ones, and it was super cheap. It was like $8. So um, the cover on my Switch 2 is not as important as the cover on my phone. It will not get as much use. It does not have to be as perfect, but it's still pretty good, and it was a super easy application. Um, but yeah, so I got that, and I got Donkey Kong Bonanza, I think is what it's called, because it's
Yeah,
supposed to be
Bonanza.
very good. I like Nintendo platformers, so that'll be good. The only thing that I have left to do, and I'm going to share this with the group window.
You gonna play Pokemon?
No, I'm not going to play Pokemon.
Oh.
I need to get a case for it, and I kind of wanted to pimp these people out. This is Waterfield Designs out of San Francisco, and they have my original Switch case, which I don't think I have handy, but they make extremely high quality leather cases for all kinds of stuff. I mean, you can look. I tried to click over on the wrong screen. You can get briefcases and messenger bags. You can get sleeves for laptops, but they make fantastic Switch cases. And go away. Now it's going to make me click back on here. I have to decide what I want. It's going to be the City Slicker case, and I'm honestly a little bit disappointed because they don't have a blue one. Of course, when I'm trying to show it, the picture doesn't show, but it's probably me not allowing scripts on here.
Mm.
But you see it here. They have different colors. Like I said, I wish they had a blue one because that's what I liked before. But I'll probably end up with like the natural brown color here. But yeah, sfbags.com, Waterfield's stuff. It's expensive, but I mean, it's good stuff. It has pockets in it. It has places to put HDMI cables and USB splitters. So if you want to take it on the road and plug up to something else, you can do that.
You
Highly
need your
recommend.
dock. You need to have the dock room for the dock for that though.
No, whenever. So I'm going to stop sharing this. When I travel, I don't take the dock. I instead, and of course, this is in my, again, it's in my Switch case. I have a USB-C splitter,
Oh.
and yeah, so I plug that into the bottom, and it's got an HDMI port on it, and so all you have to do is plug that to the bottom of it, and then plug up a high wattage USB-C charger. So I have a 65-watt charger, and I'm assuming that'll work with the Switch 2. I don't know why not, unless Nintendo is doing something funky and proprietary, but I do not want to have to pack a dock in my bag. That just seems silly. The only complaint that I have so far, so my first impression is that it feels super high
Hasn't
quality.
used it, has a complaint.
I do have a complaint. I always have a complaint. It feels super high class. It is well designed. It's comfortable. I like that it's so much bigger than the Switch. It doesn't feel as kind of cheap plasticky as the original Switch did.
Hmm.
Um, some of the games that I have a free update for Switch 2, like Hades 2. It was honestly a pain in the butt to go and get those upgraded versions. You have to click on the game, and then you have to click on the details, then you have to click on show in the shop. I mean, I guess you could go directly and show in the shop, or click on the shop and then search for it, but then you have to go and download the Switch 2 version. Some games, and that's Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, have a charge for the upgraded version, which I think is just
Yeah,
silly. Like, you already have purchased the product, throw people a bone and give them the free upgrade for things. I don't think the new one, Tears of the Kingdom, I don't think that that's a charged one, but I haven't
it
done that
is.
one yet.
It is. It's
Great.
Nintendo. They charge for everything. Of course, they're going to charge.
Like, even $10, it's like, come on, like,
I think they're 20.
reward the Breath of the Wild was $9.99. I saw.
Okay. Well, Tears of the
Reward the
Kingdom's
people.
20. I'm pretty sure.
Well, guess who's not going to pay for that?
It might be 10. I thought it was 20, but I
I've
think
already
Kirby's 20.
So yeah, that's just crappy. Kudos to people like the Hades developers who give it to you for free. That's the way you treat your customers. You've already got the sunk cost in it. Reward the people who've given you money for this kind of stuff. Yeah,
Yeah. Kirby and Mario Party were $20. Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom and Metroid Prime are 10. Animal Crossing had a $5 one. Just on a quick Google search there. Yeah, I'm mixed on the charging for upgrades thing. I obviously don't want to spend more money on things, of course, but I also understand depending on the work that's put into it. So if it's just like upgraded textures or something like that, that's a little silly. But when they start adding new content and changing things and you get bonuses, like the Kirby DLC is like an actual DLC. You're getting a Switch 2 version and DLC on top of it. So I can understand charging because you're paying for the new content at that point.
and that's not the same thing. And that's the same
Right.
thing. Mario Wonder is that they give you extra content for it, and I have less of a problem with that if it's a fair price. But yeah, I mean, I think the Zelda ones are just higher quality textures and reduced load times, and it's like, yeah,
Yeah.
well, you can take that and stick it.
Yeah. I get that for sure. And if you really think about it, because Tears of the Kingdom was $70, so paying the upgrade, you're paying $80 for the game.
Yep. So yeah, that's not going to happen. But I'm looking forward to Switch 2. I don't know when I'm going to fit time in for Donkey Kong because I really want to play more Dragon Quest. But we
I
shall
played
see.
so much Dragon Quest.
Yep. We'll stop that there, and you can talk about that later.
Yeah, for sure. I'm with you on the Switch 2 thing because I've for like 3 years have had Fire Emblem Warriors Three Hopes, and I really want to play that game, especially because Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave is coming out, and this is like an alternate universe of the Fortune's Weave Three Houses storyline, from what I gather about Fortune's Weave, and I really just want that context and that background, and I'm very curious about it. But there's so many other things to play, and there's always so many things to play, and March is crazy because there's like three huge things coming out. Well, two huge things and one smaller thing coming out that month to play for me. So much to go. So much going on. And the first thing of the news this week doesn't help with that anxiety of there's so much to play, does it?
I mean, let's just cut that and move on, and we'll discuss that there. I mean,
Well, that's a segment. That was a segment change.
then go ahead and segue into the new thing. But yeah, go for it.
All right. Let's start with our news this week. This week we begin with the biggest news of the week, which is undoubtedly PlayStation's State of Play on Thursday, February 12th, also known as Yakuza Kiwami 3 Day. PlayStation had what the entire internet, except for Byron, would say is the best showing of a State of Play they've had in years. I think just about everything in here is worth mentioning to some degree at least, so I'm just going to read the whole list. We opened up with Kenna, Scars of Kazumora, followed by Ghost of Yote Legends, the multiplayer mode for Ghost of Yote. Death Stranding 2 got a port announcement for PC, Four Loop from Bad Robot Games and the creator of Left for Dead was shown off. Pragmata and Resident Evil Requiem, the Capcom duo that's been in pretty much every showcase forever. So I understand that people are tired of seeing those, but I'm excited for Pragmata. Then we got Legacy of Kain Defiance Remastered. I've never played Legacy of Kain. I'm curious what Byron's experience with that is. We'll talk about that in a minute. Then we get Brigandine Abyss, the third in the Brigandine series. I did some research into this one. The first game was in like 1998, and then they waited 20 years and released a second game. And now they have almost 10 years later another one. And then we've got Dead or Alive 6 Last Round and the announcement of a new Dead or Alive project. That's interesting for people who are interested in fighting games, I guess. Control Resonant, the sequel to the excellent 2019 game Control, where we actually got a nice chunk of gameplay, some real stuff shown off there that we got a little bit of a taste of in the reveal, but this time we saw it in action. Crimson Moon, which was a game. I couldn't really tell you what it was. It looked like some sort of medieval game. Beast of Reincarnation from Pokemon developer Game Freak got a release date of August 4th, 2026. They showed off Digital Eclipse's Rayman 30th Anniversary Edition, which is a compilation of multiple Rayman games, some prototypes of an early iteration of Rayman before he was Rayman, a few versions of the first Rayman game somehow. Additionally, documentary material chronicling the origin and creation of the iconic character. Mina the Hollower got a quote-unquote spring 2026 release window, even though it's been release windowed and delayed many times. Neva Prologue and Yako Shinobi Ops were announced. Project Windless, based on a Korean novel that's some sort of fantasy where birds and naga exist and are fighting each other. Looks really cool. I don't have much else to say because I don't know a ton about it, but I thought it was interesting. Star Wars Galactic Racer is shown off again after its reveal late last year. We saw some more 007 First Light. Seen plenty of that. Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 2 finally frees Metal Gear Solid 4 from its PlayStation 3 jail and some other Metal Gear Solid stuff. Darwin's Paradox, Castlevania Belmont's Curse, which is the first new Castlevania game in a long time. Silent Hill Townfall and Rev Noir close out the Konami block that they had specifically set aside, which I thought was an interesting approach. We had the reveal of an untitled John Wick game with Keanu Reeves' his likeness, and I'm assuming his voice will be there as well because he did that for Cyberpunk, so he's not new to it. We got another look at Marathon with an announcement of their stress test for the servers, a server slam it's called, at the end of this month here. They announced the PlayStation Plus editions for the month. Not really anything important. Spider-Man 2, which is mediocre, unfortunately, was in there. We saw an extended look at Saros again, which actually had me a little bit more hyped because I don't really care about Returnal or Housemarque games or anything like that. But this one looks a little bit more interesting now. Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls got a release date, which I don't remember what it was off the top of my head. I think it was also August somewhere. Then finally, we close out with an announcement of God of War's Greek trilogy getting a remake and the shadow drop of God of War Sons of Sparta, a 2.5D something. I don't know. I didn't play it, but it seems to be pretty good so far. And that's the list of things from the State of Play. So let's talk about it. Byron, give us your extended thoughts on this high quality showcase, sir.
I mean, I don't know that I would consider anything super awesome. I will point out the things that I am very interested in. I am a big Castlevania fan from the original Castlevania. I think we last week learned that I didn't know there was a prequel to Castlevania called Haunted Castle. That was an arcade machine because it never made its way to me. But I think I've played every main platform Castlevania game. I'm not counting all the 2DS games, 3DS games, whatever, Game Boy games. I played some of them depending on which console I had, and some of them were very good. So yeah, I mean, there has been some kind of Castlevania games. The creator of Castlevania, which Joe may or may not have said
Iga.
in this recording,
Yeah,
Iga,
Iga.
he made Bloodstained, which is an exceptional game in the spirit of Castlevania. It is essentially a Castlevania game that is not in the Castlevania universe. And if you like those kinds of games, I highly recommend Bloodstained. And then Dead Cells has Castlevania DLCs for it, which is very good. I've played a ton of Dead Cells, and they're the team behind Belmont's Curse, which gives me high hopes that it is going to be a fantastic game. I think that this is great that an indie type studio has used their work and then been able to catapult into a more mainline game. Symphony of the Night is one of my favorite games of all time, and if this is anywhere close to Symphony of the Night, then I think that it's going to be a great game. So yeah, Castlevania, I'm excited for that one. For Loop, I am excited for because it's the people who are behind Left 4 Dead, which is an exceptional team-based shooter in the zombie universe. For Loop does not look to be a zombie game, which, sad face, but that doesn't mean it won't be good. Left 4 Dead has always been one of my favorite kind of party co-op games, and I have many, 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 many hours in Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2 that I would love to be able to recreate in another game. Kind of fun fact, my Left 4 Dead 2 was a Christmas present on Xbox 360 from my brother, and after he had wrapped it, or before he had given it to me is the point, his dog actually chewed up the case. The game disc is completely intact, but the case itself is mauled, and he apologized for it. And I was like, look, I just think it makes it more authentic. It looks like a zombie has gone after the Left 4 Dead case, which is a great thing for me.
You and your zombies.
I love zombie games. I don't play as much Resident Evil because I got kind of tired of the survival horror type portion of it. I don't like not having as much ammunition as I want. But anyway, in terms of other announcements, like a lot of these are.
Hold on, before we do that, I wanted to say on Castlevania, it's Motion Twin is an advisory game studio. It is developed by Evil Empire, just so we're clear.
Well, that hopefully they will advise and it will be a good game. I'm still excited for it because
I wanted to make it clear. I didn't want your hopes to be like, oh, Motion Twin is making it. They're advising on it.
I've never really been a fan of the Castlevania 3D games. They're kind of meh. But the 2D games, and this one's 2.5D, it looks like. I kind of wish it was pixelated, but it's not. I have high hopes for it. A lot of the other games on here we already knew about, and sure, they gave us more breadcrumbs of things to keep people satiated. I'll talk about it later on, but I did pick up Pragmata demo this week and played a little bit of it, and I'll talk about it in the What We're Playing. Legacy of Kain, I played it on the PlayStation 1, and I enjoyed the first 2 or 3 of them. I don't remember how many of them I played.
Yeah, this is the third one.
Long.
This is the third.
But it was a pretty good series, so we'll see. Dead or Alive, I've stopped caring about those for a while. I guess I've outgrown fighting games.
I thought you were going to say you outgrew jiggle physics.
I mean, I liked the original Dead or Alives regardless of their physics attraction. I liked the counter mechanism on them. I thought that was a lot of fun to be able to counter other attacks. But, other things on here, like 007, we've seen multiple times. Marathon, I don't know if I'm going to play Marathon or not. I played the original one on a Power Mac, so I have Marathon
CrossGen
history.
Everybody, CrossGen. I don't have any idea what a Power Mac is.
Old Macintoshes. So Bungie used to be a Mac developer. Pathways
I
into
know
Darkness
that. I know
and
the
Marathon,
history of Bungie. Yeah, I just don't know what a Power
all
Mac
before
is.
Halo. It's an old Mac. Yeah, and the Untitled John Wick game, I will keep my eyes open for it as somebody who likes the John Wick universe. Maybe it'll be fun. If it's like a first-person assassin type game, maybe I'll enjoy it as somebody who's never played Hitman.
I mean, it's clearly third person.
I didn't look at that part. I just kind of skipped through that because I was interested in the other stuff. I wasn't going to watch 75 minutes of stuff. I just kind of pick and choose. But yeah, God of War trilogy.
I'm sorry, but you're saying it's not this really impressive show, but you didn't watch the show.
I didn't watch, no, and I'm not going to. And frankly, I get to pick what I want to do with my time, and I get to pick what my opinions are. And
I agree.
From what they showed on here, I'm not excited because it's mostly ports. It's
ports. It's 4 ports. 4.
ports or remakes or things we've already seen. If they wanted to come out with a new announcement and say, oh, we've got a new Infamous game coming out, fantastic. If they want to do a Resistance, the Rise of Man new version, that would be amazing. But I am sorry, a remake of the God of War trilogy does absolutely nothing for me. I played all three of the original God of War games, and in my mind, they will not be better than the two newer God of War games. There's just no chance because it's the same story as before. And I played and I loved the original God of War games, but those are from a different time, and it's a kind of game that I don't want to replay. And if it brings new people in, then that's fantastic. But I would be excited in another entry in the new God of War series because those two games, one of the two of those belongs on my top 10 of all time list.
Which one?
I don't know. I could change it every day. I liked both of them a lot.
Okay, so you are absolutely in the right to not watch the show, and having your own opinion is 100% correct. However, I don't know how it's possible to have an opinion of a show without having seen the show, because I did sit and watch it. I should have said my happy place this week was watching the State of Play, because what we specifically did this week was I made dinner for Jing and I Monday through Wednesday. We did Thursday night Chinese, which is typical for us, and we got our Chinese a little bit early and had it earlier in the day so that by the time 5 o'clock came around for the State of Play and work was over, she went off to do her thing, and I got to just sit and watch the full 74-minute State of Play all the way through and be in the experience of watching the show, which is a big part of what makes these showcases special, is watching the show and seeing the order that things are presented and seeing what's next, is this good? And I don't disagree that it's important to have new game reveals, but we are in an era when there are so many things to play already that just seeing the things that are coming out and seeing new things from them, in addition to new game reveals as a tandem, as a pair, is what makes a great show, in my opinion. So when you open up with Kana, which I've never played the original Kana, but I was super interested in it, and now I'm definitely going to go back and play it because this one looks awesome. And you follow it up with Yote Legends, which was a really good game, and a multiplayer mode that we should play the multiplayer mode together, by the way. That, when you have that reveal, like, okay, new content for a game that we know, new game announcement. And then you follow it up with new content altogether with 4-Loop, which had only been talked about like once before. And then you go into something like Pragmata and Resident Evil, which we've seen way too much of. Okay, it goes down a little bit. And then from there, it's up and down, it's over, and you're getting this mix of new stuff. Yeah, Legacy of Kain is a remaster, but Brigandine Abyss is a new game, and Dead or Alive is a DLC, but there's a new Dead or Alive project, and then a string of Control Resident, brand new stuff, Crimson Moon, new reveal, Beast of Reincarnation, release date with new content about it, Rayman, which is a digital Eclipse masterpiece thing where they put it, like, these games are there's so much here that's not just ports and rehashes. I mean, Never Prologue, Yako, Project Windless, Star Wars, Galactic Racer, and 007 are 5 games in a row that are not out yet. 5 games in a row that are new, where they showed some new stuff from it. Like, that's a lot of new stuff that's coming out. That is not what you're calling it. That's not ports or rehashes. Like, that's a lot. It's a 74-minute show. Maybe 15 or 20 minutes of it were ports and rehashes. And yeah, the God of War thing is disappointing because they didn't show anything for it. And it's a remake of games that I honestly don't know how they would remake them in the first place other than just make them prettier. Yeah, there are some disappointing parts of it. But on the whole, when you look at it collectively and you watch the show in its entirety and you see the trailers and you see how much is being shown of each of these games. I mean, there was a lot of gameplay in that John Wick game. I don't know how much of it's going to translate into the final version of the game, but there's a lot of gameplay in that untitled reveal. I just think that there's a lot here that makes this a very impressive showcase and is a lot to look forward to and a lot to, be excited about if you're interested in these games. As the resident downer on State of Plays over the last 2 years or so, as anyone at Season Gaming will tell you, I was extremely impressed by this.
And that's fine. We can have different opinions. In my mind, don't make your one more thing a new hat for Malibu Stacy. because
I
that's
agree.
just going to send the entire thing off the ledge for me. And I just don't get excited by, here's 5 more minutes of gameplay for a game that you've already seen, or hey, we've got this game also. And I mean, I'll admit, I so far I have really enjoyed. I'm going to forget the name of the game that I was talking about because I've only played about 5 minutes of
Pragmata.
it. Pragmata, yeah, I enjoyed playing Pragmata when I played the demo. Demo's already out. Like, don't get me excited by throwing that in there. Again,
I
honestly,
agree. There are games that are shown way too much. I don't think we need any more 007. I don't think we need any more Resident Evil. I don't think we need any more Pragmata. I think that those
yeah,
games have been shown to high heaven and back. I agree
I
with
mean,
that.
ultimately, Resident Evil you're gonna see because Resident Evil sells games. Pragmata and 007 may or may not. We don't know. But Resident Evil, they could put a turd in a box, slap Resident Evil on it, and
They
it
did.
will
They called
sell a
that
million
Resident Evil
copies.
6.
So yeah, I mean, it'll still sell.
It will.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
I'm optimistic for Castlevania. I'm optimistic for Loop. I will be interested in both of those and potentially play both of them.
Are you going to try the Sons of Sparta 2.5D God of War thing? That's out.
I will not do it now
Oh,
because I've
I mean,
got.
are you going to play it? Are you going to try it? Is all.
I don't know. I mean, I'll look it up. I don't.
It's $30. It's way too much money, I think. But I would probably try it when it's on sale, just out of curiosity.
I mean, it'll be on PlayStation Plus eventually, I'm sure. And
Probably.
I'm sure I'll give it a shot then. I just got too much. Like I said, I'm playing Dragon Quest and I've got Donkey Kong Bonanza to play. I don't think that God of War Sons of Sparta is going to fit into that lineup.
No, I agree. I agree. I know some people who jumped right in because they were like, "Hey, it's out. Let's just give it a shot." But I mean, did you play Kena? Did you play the original Kena Bridge of Spirits?
I've never even heard of it, so the answer is
Okay.
no.
So Kena was a launch window PS5 game. It's a callback, a hearkening to PlayStation 2 platformers with their jumping and light combat style, and it looked really good. And from what I heard about it, it was pretty good. It wasn't great, but it was pretty good. I think it's got like an 8, no, like a 75 or a 78 Metacritic and OpenCritic score, something like that. I don't remember offhand, but it was supposed to be pretty good for what it was. And this was the studio's first video game. Actually, the interesting thing about this studio is that they were a movie making studio first, and they went into video games. And this is very much aligned with that like philosophy of development, something like that. It's from a company called Ember Labs. Um, and yeah, I thought it looked really good. I just never got an opportunity to play because there were so many other things going on at the time. But yeah, I think this one looks great. Did you check the trailer for it?
No, I have not.
81.
I
It's got an
so I
81 on
I
Meta.
looked at the list and I picked out the stuff that I thought looked interesting, and then I went and reviewed that stuff. So I did see the some of the Konami stuff though.
I would say check out the trailer of this one because this one, I think you might like this one if you like those PlayStation 2 era games from way back when. And then Kenna itself, it goes on sale and whatnot frequently. And then for me, that was like a really cool one to see. Pragmata, I am slated to review Pragmata, so hopefully we get a code for that and I get to review it. Otherwise, it's going to be a bit of a tough one to do because it comes out a few days before we go on a cruise. So I'm going to be pushing to get that done if I have to. And then other than that, Beast of Reincarnation, obviously that looks awesome. Control Resident looks fantastic. Crimson Moon was, I still don't really fully understand what that game is, but it looked okay, at least. I'm curious to learn more about it. Yako Shinobi Ops kind of looked like a CRPG ninja game. I don't know how I feel about that or what it's going to play like or if I'll even try it, but yeah, it's interesting. Project Windless, the Korean book that it's based off of is called The Bird That Drinks Tears, I want to say is what it is. I think that's what it is. And did you see the trailer for this one?
No,
You play as a big
it
chicken.
sounds like it might be interesting based on what you said about it. So that I'll keep an open mind on that.
Yeah, it's called The Bird That Drinks Tears is what it's called. And it looked like a Souls kind of game originally, but I think they actually said it's really a Muso, which is fascinating because you don't really get Muso games outside of Omega Force and Koei Tecmo. So I am interested in seeing how it develops. I don't care about Metal Gear. I don't care about Star Wars. I don't care about 007. I don't care about Darwin's Paradox. I don't care about Castlevania. Sorry, I don't care about Townfall for Silent Hill. Rev Noir, that anime game, that looks awesome. I don't have any idea what it's going to be, but I like its art style, and it seems like it'll be a fun, silly anime game that I hope is not a gacha game. If it's not a gacha game, I think we're in the clear. I think it'll be good, or at least it'll be interesting, and that I'll play it.
Are there many gacha games for PlayStation? I mean, aren't those mostly mobile games?
Genshin Impact is a gacha game.
Oh yeah, Genshin, yeah.
Honkai Star Rail, Zenless Zone Zero, anything Hoyoverse. Wuwa, Wuthering Waves, is gacha. I think Endless Arknights is the new one. I think that's a gacha game, but I don't know off the top of my head. It's along those same lines, though. I have only ever seen the first John Wick movie, so I don't have the investment that you do in that universe, but it's a really good movie. So
I'm always cautious about games that are ported from movies and vice versa.
Yeah, for sure.
And also, honestly, the first couple Resident Evils are the exception to the rule. Resident Evil 1 is a very good movie, and they got worse as they went on. But yeah, by and large, games from movies and movies from games are not great.
Yeah, that is a truism in gaming life for sure. Marathon, don't care. PlayStation, like I said. Saros, what is your experience with Housemark? Do you ever play any Housemark games? Returnal, Resogun?
I never played Returnal. I played Resogun. What was the one that came out with PS3, the launch title that was his?
Was that not Resogun?
Was it Resogun? There was a launch for PS3 and PS4.
PS3 launch Housemark. Let's see.
Returnal seems like a game that
Super Stardust.
Like.
Yeah, Super Stardust HD is the one that you're thinking. That was the PS3 game.
Yeah, I played a lot of that one, and I played a lot of Resogun, and those are both good. It looks like they got some other games, but
they've done a lot. They have done a lot of games for sure. Next Machina, Matterfall. Yeah, I've never played any of their games actually, so I don't have any affinity for them as a studio. But I have to say, I like the look of that upgrade tree that they showed off, because part of what turns me off from these games is roguelites in general, is the minimal carryover of progression when you're in a roguelite like that, like Returnal was, and it didn't really, like, the story and the setting look cool, but I just, the shoot 'em up bullets all over the place gameplay, like, I don't know, in addition to the roguelite. So I'll have to see. I might try Saros. My interest in Saros went from like nothing to like a little bit now, which is more than I can say I expected to happen. And then, yeah, Tokon Fighting Souls is cool, but I'm not a fighting person, as you have said. You've grown out of it. I never grew into it. I've never really gotten into fighting games because I'm terrible at them. Do you like the original God of War trilogy, or are they just like okay games to you?
Oh, they're amazing games. Okay. They were better games before the new ones came out, to be honest.
Okay, that's fair.
The original ones, they had a good story. They were good action games. They're essentially action role-playing games.
They're hack and slash. They're a hack and slash game.
Yeah.
So hack and slash puzzle platformers is what I would call them.
They're very light puzzle platformers.
They're enough.
The new ones are much more. The new ones are much more like a puzzle adventure. The narrative was good. The storyline was good in the original one, but yeah, again, the new God of War made the old God of War bad because of the comparison of them.
I've not played Ragnarok yet. Have I told you that?
I think so.
Yeah, I have it sitting right over there. It's ready. It's waiting for me at some point.
It's just that it sucks that the new ones make the bad ones look, or not, the new ones make the old ones look bad in comparison, but they're not bad games. They're very good games. They are very much PS2, PS3 games.
Did I ever tell you the story of me playing God of War at all?
The new one or the old one?
Yes.
Okay, so no.
So everyone was so in love with God of War 2018. So in love with God of War 2018. I'd never played any God of Wars before. And I was getting really annoyed at how much hype it was stealing from Red Dead Redemption 2, which is better than God of War 2018. I can say that.
Disagree.
With certainty on my end. But it was getting so much hype and stealing it, and everyone was like, oh, it's this amazing thing. So one day when I was working at my first job out of law school, where the policy of the company was basically if you went to court, as soon as you were done in court, you could go home. um,
So you could
so
walk in and drop all charges. I guess you're not a criminal attorney, but like you could have everything dismissed and walk out in 5 minutes, right?
you would
And then
most
go
likely
home.
get it adjourned. But yeah, if you went to court in Staten Island, you could go home automatically. If you were in court until the afternoon, you definitely could go home. And only if you were in court only for the morning were you expected to come back in. So if you got held over to after lunchtime, you could go home. And then honestly, if you just went home, they probably wouldn't care anyway. So I had a lot of time going home. So one day I in 2018, no, 2019, I guess it would be. I'd have to check my trophies to be sure, but in like 2018, 2019, after all of this hype over this God of War game, I was like, I've got to play these God of War games because there's got to be a reason that they're stealing all this thunder from this fantastic, amazing, top tier video game of Red Dead Redemption 2. So I took uh one day where I bought I actually already owned the trilogy version on PS3 that like came all together in a collection. I was like, all right, I'm gonna give this a shot. Let's do it. But then I was like, oh wait a second, I'm gonna play this in order. So it was actually a collection of 5 games, including the PSP ports, the PSP versions, but ported to PS3. So I started with Chains of Olympus in January of 2019. And from January, I started in January 16th of 2019. And I was like, all right, let's give this a go. Played through it. I played on normal. I was like, that was okay, but I don't really want to be challenged. So when I moved into the next game, which was the first God of War, I played it on easy. And so I played all of the rest of the games on easy from there. And I played from Chains of Olympus all the way through Ascension from January 16th, and I finished on January 23rd.
Hmm.
I
I
played
didn't.
all of those games like over the course of 1 week, basically.
I didn't play the PSP versions. I don't even think I bought them, but I played 1, 2, and 3.
Did you play Ascension?
I don't believe so.
Okay, that was the
What?
one that had like multiplayer elements built into it.
Okay, so
But it
no,
was
I did
but it was
not.
a story. You didn't have it was not mandatory multiplayer. So yeah, I over the course of literally those whatever it was the 7 days, I played all of the God of Wars and got them out of the way. And the funniest part of it was I burnt myself out so much on the God of Wars doing that it took me a solid like 6 months or 8 months to actually go and play God of War 2018 because I was so beat from it. I was like, oh, that was too much God of War.
Yeah, and the thing is that you don't need to play the original ones to play the new ones and appreciate them.
No, you don't. But if I can, I will. Is my policy
Yeah,
for anything like that.
they're connected, but they're separate enough that you could just play the new ones and never have any idea. But you're missing out on a lot of Kratos' backstory.
A lot, yeah. I mean, you missed the whole backstory, honestly.
I think
I
it
mean,
was 2 when they had his origin, where you played through the origin of why Kratos is who he is, and that
I
was really
honestly don't
good.
remember. I honestly don't remember at all.
It's
Because
been 20 years.
yeah, I mean, it wasn't that long for me, but it's been a minute. The other thing to think of is also there are the prequels. Like Chains of Olympus is a prequel to everything, and then Sons of Sparta is a prequel to the prequel. This is set when he's not even anything. He's just human Kratos at that point. Yeah, I'm looking. There it is. I found it. I played the actual God of War 2018 in December of 2019. So I waited basically a year the uh after finishing the 6 games, the sextology of God of War games. So that's my story. Played all of them over the course of a week, and played them all on easy because they are way too puzzly for me, and I did not enjoy them very much. I did not enjoy playing those games. I really liked the storyline. I did. I thought the story was really good. The style of gameplay is not for me, and I was not enjoying the combat and the challenge, so I plopped them all down to easy, burnt through them as quick as I could, and I was happy. I was happy I did that. Because I do agree. I do think that 2018 is better than all of those games, for sure.
My fun story about the new God of War is I did not buy it. I do not own it. I don't know why I didn't try it whenever it came out, but one of my friends who listens to the show said, "You have to play this game." And I said, "Fine." And he said, "I'll send you my copy, play through it, and let me know what you think." And he sent it, and I played through it, and I was like, how in the world did I miss this game? Like, I guess I just thought, like, oh, they're remaking God of War. I don't care. But yeah.
No, you thinking they're remaking something and not caring? Whoever would have thought, my friend?
Yep. So yeah, I like I said, I love both of those games.
So you don't own 2018? You just like sent it back?
I sent it back. Yep. I own Ragnarok though.
That's funny. Yeah,
Yep.
Ragnarok is literally right here, still in the shrink wrap from when I bought it at Best Buy when it was on sale for like $15. I'll play it eventually. I'll get there.
Well, you want to move on to related and more depressing news, in my opinion?
Yeah, I think so. That was a good chat on the state of play. Sony, good job. Only do state of plays like that. If you don't have that quality of state of play, just don't do them. Byron, over to you for our second story here.
Yeah, quasi-related, and I'm gonna butcher some pronunciation. So, I'm sorry.
You are. I'm really excited for this one. I saw that and I was like, oh boy, this is gonna be funny.
So, Remedy Entertainment, who is known for the Control series, Control game, and the
Alan Wake.
Thank you, Alan Wake 2 series. They have a new CEO. It's a European name, so Jean-Charles Gaudechamp, a former Electronic Arts and CCP game executive who most recently headed up a couple of sports betting platforms. Gaudechamp is not a name you likely recognize from his time at EA or CCP, but Remedy said he held senior executive positions with a full P&L responsibility at both companies. P&L is profit and loss, and I guess that's what Remedy is looking for. We'll link a PC Gamer's story in it. I don't know. Remedy, go ahead.
I was going to say CCP Games, for people who don't know, is EVE Online. They're the EVE developers.
Never played it.
Me neither, but that's what they do.
That's a big... it's a MMOs type space game where
it's a spreadsheet simulator is what most people call it.
There's a lot of people who love EVE. I like space games, but that's not one that I've ever played because I knew that it's one of those games that pulls you in, and I don't need that.
Yeah. Interestingly, sorry, you can keep going a second. Interestingly, while I was looking this up, because I thought that CCP was the EVE people, I want to check it. They are owned by Pearl Abyss, who is the company behind the upcoming Crimson Desert, which I am extremely, explodingly excited for. Sorry, go ahead.
This is kind of disappointing to me. I mean, maybe for no good reason, and maybe just because I'm very cautious about things. But one of the things that makes Remedy great is Remedy is weird. And some of the best parts of Remedy games is where they've played outside of the box. It's not a surprise to anybody because they did a live version at one of the Game Awards in the past couple years. But Alan Wake had a complete inserted aside where they essentially had a metal music video playing that was part of the story that was absolutely amazing. And that's not something that you find in other studios' games, really. That's a really kind of weird thing. And my fear is that if they go this more traditional corporate monetize everything type of route, which I fear you get from somebody who's in a P&L area, you might lose things that make Remedy special, but we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. They still have Sam Lake there. He's still the creative brains behind all of it. I don't know if the CEO is really going to have that much of an impact. I think that they put the new CEO in because the old CEO Control Firebreak, and that was a colossal failure and a terrible idea. So hopefully they don't do that anymore. And just you keep letting Sam Lake make his weird games, as you said, Yep.
All right, over to you.
Yeah, next up, Capcom has confirmed that it will be revealing a large expansion to its simultaneous hit / flash in the pan game Monster Hunter Wilds this summer. The expansion confirmed by the series producer, I'm trying to find it in my script. It's moving around. That's weird. Okay. Who's confirmed by series producer Ryozo Tsujimoto, will be of similar size to the expansion received for the previous entry. Well, 2 previous ago. Rise doesn't count. Monster Hunter World, which had the Iceborne expansion that added a new region to the game and a whole lot more. There was additional talk of an anniversary event crossover with the upcoming Monster Hunter Stories 3 Twisted Reflection. I have this in the news here, Byron, primarily because I know that we both played this game, and I know that we both kind of fell off this game pretty quickly. So, what do you think about this? That you think they're going to be able to revitalize it?
I don't know. I mean, so my problem with Monster Hunter is when it comes out, I look at it and I remember all the things that I love about Monster Hunter,
Mm-hmm.
and then I play it and I remember all the things that I hate about Monster Hunter, which essentially is like repeats and grinds and slow
Yeah.
content. And I like the idea of going on a hunt. Part of the thing that I waste way too much time in other games is like hunt mechanics. And I think that's great to have a game that's entirely built around hunt mechanics. The things that I don't love is sometimes the fights take too long and you're looking for one item to upgrade the one piece of equipment and you didn't get it this time, try again next time.
Yeah.
And then it seems like they match you with people who are way above your level and you're sitting there with your sharpened piece of bone and somebody comes with an unobtainium laced long sword and hits it twice and it dies and you're trying to trap it and that's like, oh, it's so frustrating. So
Mm-hmm.
we'll see. I mean, like I said, I like lots of Monster Hunter.
Yeah, I really enjoyed Wilds. I had a good time. I did play with a few friends, which was cool. I got extremely into Monster Hunter World because the Easy Allies, this content creator group that I've been a fan of for like 10 years, a little longer since when they were game trailers. They did a thing called weekly hunts for Monster Hunter World where every week they just got like the 3 or 4 of them together and then they would invite this would be like 3 of them and then they'd invite like one person to the group and then you'd go on hunts with them. You weren't like chatting with them or anything, but you do it and it was all streamed and it was really fun. So I got really invested in it and I just never had that same high for Wilds, and it just kind of died off because so many other things came out. It came out right. It was right around Avowed. It was right around Kingdom Come Deliverance. There was so much going on at that point that all the people that I was like in a group with, like all of Season Gaming, we had so many people playing this game, and then it just fell off. Like everyone stopped playing it. I think I hunted with a couple of people a couple of times in the end, and I really like Monster Hunter. But you're right, there is a frustration element to the Monster Hunter side of things, the RNG of am I going to get that one piece that I need? Am I going to get it? How many more of these do I need? And honestly, by the end of my play session, I had everything. Like I got all of the good stuff that I wanted to get. I was no longer seeking anything. And I stopped playing by I think the end of February.
Well, so the other thing about a Wilds was the one that had the tower game in it too, right? The multiplayer like I guess real time tower game where you set up on turrets and so forth and
No,
shot monsters.
That was Rise.
Oh, I did like that part. That was a lot of fun.
Right, Wilds is the one that was last year.
Yeah, I just they kind of blurred together because I mean, by and large, all Monster Hunters are kind of similar.
Yeah, the one with the towers was the Switch game that was on Switch, and it looked not great. And then they ported it to other consoles, and it still looked not great.
Okay, I played it on PC.
Yeah.
That's the other thing is that it's a Capcom game, and Capcom is known for their plus minus support of PCs.
Yeah.
And Monster Hunter Wilds, it had pretty bad performance. I don't know if it's gotten better, but a lot of people complained about it. It did not run the way that I would like it to on my computer. So, yeah, if you want to have a wide net that captures as much as possible, make sure that everybody can play it well.
Yeah. I ended up not going back to Iceborne until like almost a year, maybe longer than a year after it came out because it was $40. It was $40 for one new region, and the base game was $60. And I was like, I can't do that. That doesn't make any sense. I'm not gonna give it $40. And I waited until it was like $20.50 or something. I was like, that's good. That's a good price. $20. I'll take it. So, did you play Monster Hunter World, or did you?
I don't think so. I've only played a few of them. I got into the game series late.
Yeah, World is only 2 entries ago. It's World that made it a big open world that had like zones, but it was just like each zone was open. You didn't have to transition between like sub zones. And then Wild is the completely open world that just came out, and then Rise was like the in betweener. That was not that was from 2021, I think it was, or something, and World is 2018. So yeah, I don't think this is going to do anything for the game. Unfortunately, it sold well. They made all their money, and I just feel like their support for it was less than what they did for World, and I feel like the hype around it died quicker. I don't know if the next Monster Hunter is going to get the same excitement that this one did, because it was kind of disappointing in the end.
So I think that your mistake in that is there's a large contingent of people who are ride or die Monster Hunter.
There are, but I don't think it's going to have the mass 10 million sold appeal that it did this time, because this one
Yeah.
sold like 10 million copies. I think the next one would probably sell like, you know, 5 million copies. Like it's not going to do as well. It'll still be fine because people love Monster Hunter, but I think that the massive hype that this game had kind of fell off really quickly, and people got a little more disappointed with it in the end. And reasonably so, because some of the changes they made, I don't think that they did the open world particularly well in this one, which is unfortunate. I liked the zoning, the way the zoning was done in World versus Wilds. So I think that that's a common thought. And some of the support, like I said, just didn't feel like they were there the way that they were for prior entries. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with it. See what the pricing is. Maybe I'll be back. Maybe not. We became better friends because we were like, we're gonna play Monster Hunter together. We never played it. You
Never
remember
did.
that?
Yep. You stopped playing it, or I stopped playing it, or both stopped playing it. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. So, oh well, Byron, over
Right.
to you for our final news story, sir.
Yeah, from an IGN article, Sega announced a $200 million write-off of its $766 million acquisition of Angry Birds maker Rovio, stating the profitability of the mobile business has fallen below the initial forecast. Sega blamed the lower forecast on increasing competition in the mobile marketplace. So that is 100% true. Angry Birds was definitely the right place, right time type of game.
Mm-hmm.
And they did their absolute best to cash in on the phenomenon. They had Angry Birds with Star Wars. There were 3 or 4 different Angry Birds regular games.
Made a movie.
And a movie that I have not seen because I knew that
Neither.
it was not for me. I played a lot of Angry Birds. That was one of the killer apps on iPhones and iPads, and I played a lot of it over the years.
Android 2.
Yep. But and yeah, I'll agree that the market is different now, and I don't know that that's the real reason behind this. So there is more to the story. But the more likely thing is Rovio found it difficult to advance its initially planned business development, and the profitability of its business has fallen below the initial forecast, Sega admitted. So what this screams to me is Rovio was pretty content with writing Angry Birds until the horse was dead. And then they didn't really have another plan of what to do when people were tired of Angry Birds. I haven't played Angry Birds in years. I see it every once in a while. I'm like, oh, maybe I'll click on that. Nah. So yeah, Rovio has not adapted, I don't think, and been able to capitalize on their hit.
I mean, they were sold for almost $1 billion, so they don't need to capitalize. They got all the capital they could ever want.
I mean, the people, sure, like they made their money, and I'm sure that they're living off of a yacht in the Caribbean or the Mediterranean or wherever they want to be, because I think they're Finns. But anyway, it's Sega took a stab at it, and they wanted to get into the mobile market, and oops.
Yeah, I also played Angry Birds a bit. I remember playing it in college on whatever phone I had at the time, and like maybe my my S4 maybe. But yeah, I remember playing it and sitting in like the cafeteria, just doing the as you flung the birds. And I think I 3-starred every level of the original Angry Birds, and then I stopped and never played it again. And I haven't touched it or looked at it since. I don't know when I uninstalled it off of my phone, because I tend to keep things consistent across all of my phones. But yeah, it's not there. I don't know if I would even be able to like have an account, or my records would still be there, but I know I played it, and that was it. It was fun. It was a time and place fun thing to do. Nice little time killer. And it wasn't like swimming in microtransactions either. It was like, you think you bought the game, right? Did you buy the game, or was it free and it had ads? It was whatever it was.
You Now I don't remember. It may have been free with ads, but I'm sure I bought it at some point or got it off Apple Arcade. I don't remember. It's been so long.
Yeah, it's been, but whatever it was, it wasn't the swamp of microtransactions and pay to win, pay to play, free to play, but pay to free to premium that you have right now in mobile gaming, which is why I don't really do mobile gaming anyway, and also phones. Who wants to play on your phone? You're playing on your phone anyway with scrolling and things. But yeah, so this was a fun game. It's a shame they never like imagine an Angry Birds RPG, right? Like, could you imagine a world where you played the birds and you actually went after the pigs, but you had like a 3D world to explore?
I don't think that market exists, but
You see, you say that.
I think you move past Angry Birds. You got to find a new IP to.
I don't mean now. Sorry, I don't mean now. I mean like 10 years
back
ago.
back in 2010. Yeah, sure, they could
Yeah,
have done Angry Birds cereal and Angry Birds action. I'm sure there were Angry Birds action figures.
yeah, pop figurines, right? Angry
Yeah.
Birds pop figures. But like that's what I'm saying. Like that would have been a cool thing to have at the time. They could have really capitalized on it, and they went with movie and multiple spin-offs of the same game where I think the only change was just like new puzzles, but it was always just flinging the
Oh
bird.
no, the Star Wars one was actually pretty good. I enjoyed the Star Wars one. It had
Did you
force
fling a bird?
powers. You flung birds that were Star Wars related, and each one had different powers, like the original Angry Birds. But some of them had the Force, some of them had lightsabers, some of them had
Mhm.
blasters, and it was pretty cool, to be honest. I didn't 3-star everything on there. I don't think I've ever finished that one, but the original ones I did.
Yeah. Again, it's cool to have the IP. I just the game was always the same from everything I ever saw about it. They never branched out to different genres.
There was a pig version where it was more like you build carts and stuff.
Mm.
I don't remember. That's a newer one. That was pretty good, but obviously not enough that I remember a lot about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, that's that.
Well, good luck, Sega. Hopefully
Good luck,
you
Sega.
can make some of that money back. And I don't know if it's going to happen with Kiwami 3. Ooh, scared. Think that'll do for our news segment, right?
Yep. I guess I'll go first on what we're playing, and I'll wait for Dragon Quest to talk about that since we both put more time into it.
And that's all I've played.
So yeah, I'm still playing Ball Pit. I'm towards the end of New Game with all the characters, but yeah, still playing Ball Pit. I streamed a little bit of Super World this week along with Nier. I still love Super World. It's a lot of fun. There's just a lot of stuff going on. Nier, I didn't have a lot of new content because I might have been bit in the rear by lack of autosave. Remember Gargantua and Gargantua? I had to do that fight again. So I think what happened is maybe I didn't save after that one the first time because I played in between, and the content that I got through a couple weeks ago, I still was through, but I had to do that battle again. So I think maybe I just didn't save it, which...
Is that the one that had the black bar in the middle the whole time?
Yeah, so if you want to see it without the black bar, you can watch the newest live stream replay. I was much better at it this time than I was the first time, but
nice.
It kind of sucks to lose that much progression because you forgot to save at the right place at the right time. So whatever. I did pick up the demo of Pragmata.
Tell me all about this game.
So I've got about 30 minutes in it. 15 minutes is according to my playtime. So I'm still on the intro level. I just didn't have a whole lot of time to.
I've heard it's only like 35 minutes long. It's really short.
Oh, that I'm halfway through. The play style, it feels very Gears of War. It's third person, not exactly over the shoulder like Gears of War, but it kind of feels like that because you're a guy in a big bulky spacesuit. The hook is that you've got a little girl who sits on your back in a little carrier type thing,
Diana,
and she can hack computers and hack robots, which is kind of cool. And I'm still not 100% as to what the different mechanisms for hacking that shows up in the game are, but it's kind of fun. It's a neat thing to have to dodge the attacks while you're doing hacking with your D-pad. It's light puzzle. When I say light puzzle, you have to go around and find switches to unlock things. But it's neat. It runs well on my computer, which, like I said, Monster Hunter did not run well. So if you're concerned about Capcom screwing up a PC port, hopefully they have not screwed this one up. It's a different team, maybe. I don't know if it's a different engine than Monster Hunter.
No, I don't think so. Everything they do is RE Engine. So
well, it feels responsive. It looks good. It supports DLSS, which
The
is
scale of what they're
fantastic.
doing is different too, you know.
Well, so and going back to think about it, I don't remember if Monster Hunter supported DLSS, which is
I don't
almost a
remember.
cheat code for better graphics and better frames. Um,
Gemini says that the Pragmata Sketchbook demo is 15 to 20 minutes,
oh,
25
so
minutes.
I'm right there because I didn't spend a lot of time having to go through the puzzles. They weren't that hard.
Yeah, apparently it's just a little bit of puzzles and then one quick boss fight, and then that's it. So,
Um, you have a sidearm and the sidearm has unlimited ammo, and I'm fine with that. I'm good with having, one weapon that is your always equipped, never run out thing. But like the rifles or shotguns that I picked up in the game, like it had 6 shots and then I just threw it away. I didn't find a way to pick up more ammunition. And it's like, why are you giving me something with 6 shots? Like that's just, it felt bad.
I'm pretty sure that you can pick up more ammunition
I did not. So
if you
that may
find
just be
more
part of the
shotgun
demo.
ammo. Like you have to find the ammo.
I had to kill something else and took another shotgun off of it. But it was cute because the girl said, remember, this one only works up close. I was like, yep, I know how these things work. I've played enough games and shot enough shotguns in my life. I understand this.
Yeah, I watched someone play this demo or like part of the demo, and I'm pretty sure I saw them pick up more ammo. I don't
Yeah,
know.
well,
Maybe.
I didn't find it.
Uh, but that's
Um,
cool. I'm really
what
excited for this
else?
game. We talked about this last week briefly, but this was a revealed at the PlayStation 5 reveal event, and this has been in development for a really long time, with with some development troubles. So I'm curious how much of that shines through, or if they just scrapped it, started over, and they made it, good, and just made it a good game.
Yeah, we'll see. Like you said, if it's a 30-minute long demo and essentially a boss fight is all that I have left, then I'm open enough that I'll wait to find more out. If it gets good reviews, I will likely play it if it's not super expensive. I mean, I'm sure it's going to be a $70 game because it's a big
Yeah, it'll
time
be full
Capcom
price.
release.
Yeah, it'll be
Um,
60 or 70. Yeah. If I give
we'll
it a good
see.
score, are you going to review it? Are you going to play it?
Maybe it's going to depend on what else I'm doing at the time.
If
I
I give it a
will.
good score and everyone else gives it a mediocre score, are you going to play it?
Oh, then I'll definitely play it then. Here's my thing about games is I am not going to pay full price for a game that I am not going to play right now. If the
Sure.
way games go on sale, I'll if I've got other things going on, I'm not worried that I'm going to miss out on the bits in the Steam store
Mm-hmm.
not being available anymore. I'll just wait, and if I'm ready to play it and I want to get it, then I will. Otherwise, then I can just wait for a Steam sale. There'll be a summer sale, there'll be a winter sale, and I'll get it then. So yeah, we'll just see what else is going on.
I generally have that policy as well, unless you have a pre-order bonus that I really, really want, and I'll pre-order a game that I don't have any intention of playing right now because I really, 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 really wanted this pre-order bonus, which
It's
was
a
just
deck
this
of
deck of
cards
cards.
that you're never going to open.
Yeah, but it's awesome and I love it. As
Whatever makes you
controversial
happy.
as this is, it makes me very happy. Yes, I am very excited to eventually get to play Kiwami 3 and see all the controversy established and see if it crushes my soul for the things that are changing. Anyway, so that was
Yeah, so
Pragmata.
yeah, I'll stop there because you'll want to talk Dragon Quest and I'll
I
talk
do.
Dragon Quest. You played a lot more than I did this week. I didn't have a big gaming week this week. It's
Yeah,
Olympics time.
I think I was at what, like 20 hours when we talked last week.
Yeah, you were just beyond me.
Yeah, I was like 15 or 20 hours. I'm at 49 hours now. I've done nothing but play Dragon Quest in my spare time. I haven't really watched any TV or anything else. Every spare moment I've been in Dragon Quest. I think the PlayStation 5 says it's like 70% or 82% done or something. I don't know. Um, I I really like this game a lot. It's not the greatest game ever or anything like that, definitely, but it's really good. It's a really good game. It is a classic Dragon Quest. Everything about it feels Dragon Quest. I really like this art style. My biggest criticism of this art style is that we don't get to see the characters' faces that often. Like usually when they're talking, it's just like looking at them from on high, and then every so often you get a fancy cutscene where it like zooms in, you can actually see them and there's facial animations, and those are really well done. I just wish that we saw that more often. But overall, this game is fun. It hasn't been too challenging. I know that it gets more challenging when you start moving into super bosses and bonus content and post game stuff. I'm not at post game yet. I'm nearing the end of this game. I'll probably have it finished depending on what we do after Valentine's Day stuff is done. I'll probably finish it today or maybe tomorrow as the base game, and then I'll decide how much post game I want to do. I'll probably do all the post game stuff. I would guess I'll do all the post game stuff, but it depends on if there's story attached. If it's just post game like grinding, I won't do it. But if there's story attached to it, because I don't know if you played Dragon Quest 11, but Dragon Quest 11 ends 3 times. There are 3 endings in that game, 2 fake ones and then a real one, and that's, they're all story. So I don't know if this is going to do that as well. We'll see. But I am currently 49 hours in. I'm level 48. I think is what my main character is, Giuseppe. I think that's what his level is.
Mine's
Maribel,
Byron. My main character is Byron.
Well, so my main character is Joseph. Giuseppe is Joseph in Italian. So he's 48, I think. Maribel is higher. So the bonus, the deluxe edition content came with a slime heart that gives you 20% more experience. I thought it was 20% more experience for the party, but I think it's 20% more experience for whoever has it equipped. So Maribel was behind Kiefer and Giuseppe from the start, and now she levels up before I do. So I think that like over time I caught up and made her like first place for the leveling. I think she's maybe level 49 or something. But
this comes from the person who doesn't like to have anybody miss out on experience from a monster fight.
Yes, but this is because I did not know that it was doing that until she got to like level 45. That was the first time she ever dinged before Giuseppe did. And I was like, oh. I was like 40 hours in at that point. So at that point, it was too late to care. But yes, I still don't let anyone die. I've used my Yggdrasil Leafs on random fights because I didn't want to have to do the fight again. So I really need to go back to the lucky hand thing and get some more Yggdrasil leaves if I can, because I'm running low on leaves. I have 65 mini medals turned in, I want to say, or 64 mini medals.
In old school games where you had to go to the church to resurrect people who died, like I didn't let people die either, but in games where they just respawn with 1 hit point at the end of the combat, I couldn't care less.
I actually don't know. Do they respawn with 1 hit point at the end of the combat?
They do.
Oh, okay. That's good to know.
I've never died at a boss. I have. So this is obviously with none of the parts in the story where you die because it's part of the storyline, because that's happened a couple times.
Yeah, there's a few of those.
I always think sucks as a mechanic or a narrative tool.
I don't mind it if you don't get to go, if you don't get a turn and you just like instantly die. Like, okay, you put me in combat, but you didn't even like make me think I had a chance because you just killed me in 1 turn. Like, that's okay.
See, I don't like the idea of me dying as a narrative tool. If you're gonna make it hard, like a Dark Souls game where the first boss at the tutorial is supposed to be way better than you, and he kills me, I'm good with that. But at least give me a chance. If I can dodge through this guy and hit him for 1 damage 1,000 times, cool. I should get a reward for doing that. And
Majima in Yakuza Kiwami 1. You can beat Majima in Kiwami 1 at the start of that game. You can.
Yeah, so I don't love that, but yeah, you do get 1 hit point whenever you come back, and I have died to some of the super monsters on the world map. Typically it's like I've not died as a party ever. It's not been that hard. I have had a character die, and it's typically because I get one-shotted out of the complete blue.
Yeah, Maribel is my highest level character, and she has died more. She's currently the character with my Kazing spell, and she dies all the time. And I'm like, oh, come on. But she has such bad defense. It's really bad. It's sad how much she gets hit. And they target her.
They do freaking target her, and I don't know why. So I'm in the part now, and I'm not gonna. I will try to give as light spoilers as possible.
How many hours in are you?
About 20. So I'm 14 and a half on the main game. I just got to all trades, whatever, and I'm doing the content after that.
So do you have jobs or do you not have jobs?
I did not have... Okay, so this is the funny part. I have jobs, I don't have skills.
Huh?
I still am a fisherman, a mini mayoress, and a wild whatever. So
Yeah,
you
can you change your job is what I mean.
no, not yet. No, no,
Okay.
no. I have the original jobs, no skills right now.
What do you
And
mean
that
no
was gonna
skills? I don't understand. There are no skills.
yeah, there are like the spells that you cast. My skills were taken away as part of the story.
Okay, yeah. Okay, yes.
So
You mean
that's where
you're
I am right now. I'm in the dungeon after that where I am going to do a thing to help somebody and I don't have any skills.
Are you about to get your skills, or are you not about to get your skills?
Probably not. So I'll tell you, Finger is in my party again.
Okay. You're not getting your skills for a while. You got a bit to go.
And well, so the thing that frustrates me about this is literally one of my characters is a kid riding on a wolf. Your skills are that you're riding on a wolf. Come on. Like, how hard is it to just go and bite somebody? Like, you shouldn't have just attack. Everybody else, I get it. I hate having to use items. In role-playing games, I only use items at the very start of the game. It's like, oh, I got to use a heal potion. I got to use an antidote because I don't have the option. But when I've progressed enough that I can heal characters and I can cast antidote or whatever it is, purify or I don't
Squelch.
Yeah, like don't take that away from me. It's just obnoxious.
The thing is, you're really not fighting right now. Like, you shouldn't be getting into combat at the moment. I don't think I've fought at all without my skills.
I'm constantly. Yeah, there's monsters on the map, and the only reason I dodged monsters, because I don't dodge monsters, is because I was like, oh, I got to get a shower so I look presentable for recording. So at 9:30 this morning, I ran through monsters because I saw a save statue on the map, and I was like, go save, and then I'll quit the game and come back because I got to get all the treasures on that map.
Yeah, I mean, you have your weapon. I guess I fought a little bit. I barely fought when I was without my skills because you don't need to, really. There's not that much.
Yeah. It's not hard. I'm so over leveled right now that about 60 to 70% of the monsters I kill on the overworld with just
I love that
pre-combat. I have leveled a couple times from that.
Yeah, that's the way to grind. By the way, when you get your jobs, that's like if you're in a really heavy monster area, it's faster to kill 5 of those things and reload the zone than it is to go through combat and whatnot because each monster on the overworld gives you 1 job point, and then each fight you have with a monster, doesn't matter how tough the monster is in the turn-based mode, gives you 5 job points.
Gotcha. Yeah, so the other part that I think is funny, so like I said, I'm currently without my skills, but I still get worked up, and I still have Maribel's passion for being a mini mayoress, and it's like, A, it's useless because I can't cast any spells.
Yep.
And B, it's like, why wasn't that skill taken away? I still have the fisherman's skill that protects everybody, and I've used that from time to time just to make it so not to use as many heal potions. And what's the wolf character? Is it Ruff or
Ruff.
I don't know?
Ruff. Yeah, Ruff.
He still gets 2 attacks around. The only skill you can use is attack those. So that's kind of useful, but it's still fun. I still like the game.
Yeah.
It's just annoying. I feel like I've gone too long without.
It's a long
my
section
skills.
for sure.
Yeah.
You still have a ways to go. You still have a ways to go if you're at that point. You've got a solid. You're probably like either halfway or 2/3 of the way through the no skill section right now.
And I'm not going to
fingering your party.
I'm not going to give away more than that, other than to say I was disappointed when my skills got taken away, because when I saw that it was, and I kind of had an inclination based on things that you said last week, or maybe said to me in text. I texted you. Yeah. I saw that it was hopefully going to be getting more jobs, and I went and researched the jobs. I'm like, oh, which job should I pick for so and so? Which job should I pick for so and so? And I don't have any skills right now, so more to come.
Yeah, there's a lot of jobs.
There's a lot of jobs, and jobs with prerequisites from other jobs.
Yeah, there's jobs, intermediate jobs, and advanced jobs. I actually just last night maxed out my first advanced job on a character. I don't have every job unlocked on every character. I think I have one of every job unlocked so far. Like it's on the list of the jobs that you can get. But not everyone has access to everything because it depends on what you pick. If you pick like a warrior and a mage, then you unlock a job. But if you pick a warrior and a priest as your two, and you have warrior and priest, then you don't have the job that you unlock the warrior and mage. You have the job with warrior, with warrior and priest or whatever it is. And that's been cool. It's a little slow on the job leveling front, I will say, as like a heads up, because the early jobs are quick. They level up pretty quickly. You get them to max. But once you start getting into like intermediate and advanced jobs, they take a minute to get going. And the annoying thing is that no matter how tough the monster is, like I said before, you only get the 5 job points. You get 5 job points or 8 job points or 10 job points or 13 job points. There's a couple of monsters like mimics and frightened urns that give you 10 job points if you fight them because they're surprises and you don't expect them. But everything else on the map basically gives you 5. And then if you're moonlighting, because they, you get 2 jobs, you get eventually you'll unlock 2 jobs per character at a time. Did you know that?
I knew about moonlighting.
Okay, so if you have 1 max job and 1 job that's not max, you get a bonus 3 points towards the not maxed out job. So again, 5 or 8 or 10 or 13 or 1 or 2 on the map if you're just swinging. So it's so slow. It really is very slow to get those jobs leveled up. And it's not that big of a deal because there's plenty of combat you're fighting a lot, but I do find times where I'm just running around the map and I'm looking at, I keep the UI up, the little HUD up at all the times, so I can always see what level they're at for jobs and whatnot. I'll be like, oh, Giuseppe's 10 monsters away from a little smack. Let me just go and hit 10 monsters on the map and knock them out, and then I'll just ding the job at that point. Because part of the sacrifice is if you go into a tough fight and you just switch jobs, you have no skills.
Yeah.
And I've definitely had that bite me a couple times where I was, it was a tougher fight because of that.
From my read ahead of what the job system is, I think it's funny and silly that there's a hero job and other people than the hero can get the hero job. Like and that's why I kind of think it's funny that you call it Giuseppe, because I just call it the hero character because that's who he is. But other characters can be hero class too. It's like, no, there is one hero character and it's the main character.
Yeah, I did not look up any of the jobs. I didn't spoil any of the jobs for myself. I think I've seen all of them now. I think. So because that is a spoiler to me, like discovering the jobs is fun, like figuring that out. That's a fun part of it for myself, at least. Yeah, it's a really good game. It's getting a little long in the tooth insofar as you haven't experienced it yet because you're still way earlier than I would have expected you to be. But there's a lot of backtracking in this game. You may have noticed it that after you finish an island in the past, you go to the island in the present. And when you go there, the treasure chests are all respawned. Like there's duplicates. There's past treasure chests and present treasure chests, and they're the same. So like you're doing the same thing twice for every island, which is a little weird in design choice there. It's not that big of a deal, but it's like, all right, I just cleared out all the treasures on this island. Now I got to go do it again in the present.
That is annoying. I do it as soon as I finish the past island. I get scooted to the present island, so I'm done.
Yeah, because it's fresh in my mind.
Yeah, and it is annoying. Like the volcano, I had to remember how to get to the other areas, and
yeah, but I like that each of these islands has their own story and how it all ties in some way. I think that is well done. I think that's a really clever thing. Some of the islands I think are a little too long, like all trades, and some of the islands I think are way too short, like Larca. You've been to Larca? The Italian one?
Yeah, that's the one with the fire, the volcano, right? The fire
that's festival? Embark.
Okay, then I don't.
This is Larca. L''ARCA.
I don't remember that, so probably not.
Okay. Like that one is super short. Like there's some that are really, really short. The France one is really short, and some of them are really long. Like All Trades is really long. The Egypt one is pretty long. Yeah, so I think it could have been a little bit better balanced in that regard. I just, at 45 hours into this game, finally unlocked the arena that all Dragon Quest games have. They all have an arena. I just unlocked the actual arena where you fight monsters. I cleared the first 2 cups, and then I got to the third one, and I could do it. I could clear it, but I wouldn't be able to clear it in enough turns, in like short enough turns to get all the rewards. So I'm just like, I don't want to do it then. I'll wait until I level up to get the turns. Yeah. The story goes exactly where you would expect it to go for a Dragon Quest game. I think if you've played Dragon Quest, it's like not that surprising so far, but it's been fun. It's been intriguing, and I really like the characters. I think all the characters are really charming. Uh,
So yes, but I thought the main character and Mirabelle's costumes were awful.
I agree. I think Mirabelle
And
looks horrible.
so when I got the bonus for doing the demo, I swapped out their costumes and I've never looked back.
The only costume I actually changed was Ruff's because I liked making him the White Wolf look.
Yeah, I don't think I got that from the demo. That must have been a pre-order thing.
I think it was either the pre-order or the deluxe edition upgrade, one of the two.
Gotcha. Yeah, he's fine. I don't care about him. The other thing that I found this week that I did not like is I unlocked one of the gray islands. The
Mm-hmm.
gray. So yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Regenstein, the German one
And
you would have gone to.
yeah, and
Regenstein.
there was no reward for that. It was just kind of like, hey, here's a little side story, and it's like, why do I care? Like, I couldn't pick up more. I don't think I picked up any more fragment pieces while I was there. Um, there was like, give me an item, give me something to make it worth my while.
Yeah, I'll tell you that they have that general vibe to them, but they're seemingly connected to one another. Like it's one more overarching side story than it is on its own. So just because you finished Regenstein doesn't mean nothing else is going to happen related to it.
Okay, then I'll await further developments.
I still don't think you actually get any crazy good rewards. I know Regenstein is the worst of the islands for sure, the first one, because there's like very little there. The other side story islands have a bit more to them. Definitely have a bit more to them. And I actually, even where I am, have not unlocked the gray tablet. I've got one gray tablet left to find. I know where it is because I looked because I wanted to make sure I wasn't missing it. And it's not. I haven't gotten to there in the story yet, so I do know that there is one more. But yeah, the other two are better that I've done so far than the first one.
The other thing I don't like, and we talked about this last week, is the number of locked chests. I don't know when I get the key to open chests, but I really don't want to have to.
About
backtrack.
48 hours in.
But like, you can't mark them on the map or anything to remind you
Nope.
where they are. So I'm going to eventually pull up a guide that says, here where all the locked chests are, and just go down the list, because
Okay,
that's just...
so it's not really a spoiler. There are 3 different types of locked chests.
Oh,
With
great.
3 different keys. So one of them is the thief's key, one of them is the magic key, one of them is the ultimate key. And you get each of them in succession, and you finally get the ultimate key literally I just got it like an hour earlier, like 48 hours in or 47 hours into the game.
In a game
Yeah.
where you can't mark stuff or have it show up, lock chest on the map, like that's
Yeah.
just, ugh.
The map is my biggest criticism of game choices. There's some, like specifically design choices in on the whole. Like repeating islands, okay, I understand that there's some fun there. It's not such a big deal, but you have to have a better map than this, man. Like it is a bad map.
Well, the only upside to it,
For interactivity,
understand.
I should say.
Oh, okay. Like for travel wise, the fast travel is fine. Being able to warp and it being almost free to fast travel, like I'm okay with that, and I understand that was a change in the reimagined version.
Yeah, I just mean the like the map is literally nothing but look at where you are and fast travel, and they do mark the treasure chests are marked on the map when you're in the zone.
And you can sniff it out. But if I'm looking and saying, "Oh, where do I need to go get this?"
Yeah, you have to go into every building, and he'll tell you if it's in that building or not. Yeah.
Yeah, well, there is an overworld one. So for each island, you'll say, "Oh, there's still 11 treasures to collect in this larger area."
But then you have to narrow it down. So basically,
Yes.
what I do every time is I sniff the island, and then I enter the zone, and then I sniff the zone, and it'll either tell me if there's anything in there. If there's something in there, then I have to go into each individual building in the zone. And if there's not, I can go to a different zone.
What a waste of time.
What drives me crazy is when I'm missing like one thing, and I'm like, where is this one thing?
It's a pot you miss, is what it is.
It usually is a
bookcase.
pot. Yeah. It usually is a pot or an armoire, or a dresser. I finally got the ultimate key. The ultimate key is cool because there's a whole bunch of locked doors as well, like mostly jail cells. I've been unlocking all the jail cells that I've come across that I couldn't unlock. I've been unlocking them.
You're a real man of the people.
hey, they have treasure chests in there, and by treasure chests I mean pots. Um, yeah, you literally you get the ultimate key from a place, and then you go back to Estard, and something happens, and then like the first thing I did was go and rob the king, and I looted all of his stuff in the treasure vault down there because there were four
Good.
chests that were waiting for me. Yeah, I really like this game. I don't know where I fall on a score of it yet. It's probably it's probably like an 8. I would say. I think it's a pretty great game. It's got some problems in it. It's I'm enjoying it more than I enjoyed the Outer Worlds 2.
Agreed. I think I probably like it more than Dragon Quest 11, but not as much as Dragon Quest 8.
I did not play 8. I don't like it more than 11. I really really liked 11. Um there were no offensive grotesque outfits in 11. No one looked horrible the way that Maribel looks horrible on her, and no one looks as ugly as Kiefer does in 11.
I think I like the characters in 11 better.
Yeah, but I like. There's more. There's a bunch more. There's really only 6 in this game.
Yeah,
Um,
there are more. From reading about the job system, I think I will enjoy the job system. That's one of the best things about Final Fantasy V.
yeah, I don't remember what the job system, the skill system was like in 11. Do you remember what that was like? I don't.
I think you were locked in. Hero was hero, and the wizard
Yeah,
was wizard, and the priest was priest.
yeah, I think you're right. I think you were locked in. I am enjoying the job system a lot. I will say I am enjoying it a lot. I wish it leveled up a little faster, like I mentioned earlier. But it's fun to like mix and match the things, the different jobs. And the one thing I'm not doing that I probably should do more is switching out the gear. But there's no outfit, so you have to like pick the piece of gear every single time. So even if Maribel is being classed as a warrior and a martial artist as 2 of the jobs, I'm still just leaving her in her magic gear because eventually I'm going to put her back to magic, and because my other characters are compensating for it. I've not hit a point where I need to really swap gear depending on my job, because it's really annoying to do that because there's so much gear in the game. I'm almost it's amazing. I'm almost done with this game according to the percentages and according to like the playtimes I've heard and everything. And if you look at the list of monsters, I've only have like half of the monsters seen. So there's got to be some like crazy post game dungeon or something with a bunch of new monsters in it. But have you been collecting mini medals?
Yeah, yes. I mean, I exhaust all the treasures that I can get
Yeah,
in any area, so I need to return some of them. I think I've got the reward for 20 mini medals, and I probably have the next level just sitting on me, and I'll get it
yeah.
next time I go back to Estard.
How many? How do? Try this again. How do you feel when you find a mini medal?
Not as excited as the game would like me to be, I believe.
Okay. Yeah, I get a real sense of like a big smile goes on my face when I get a mini medal. There's something about mini medals that makes me smile. I don't know what it is. It's just like a really positive feeling. It's like, yeah, mini medal. Nice.
It gives you different music. What I
It
don't like
does.
about the mini medals is you have a mini medal album. And so you would think, oh, I can look at the mini medal album and see how many mini medals are left in any kind of region. No, you can't read it. This is your book about mini medals. Thanks, game.
Um Later.
Okay. It's
That
just sitting
that'll
in my inventory now.
Yeah, it's just gonna sit there. Not much longer. I think when you leave all trades, like maybe 1 or 2 islands later, you'll get to the point where you can go and talk to someone that will give you. He'll literally say, "Let me upgrade your metal album for you," and then all the information's in there.
Okay, good. Then
Yeah,
I will wait.
or yeah, all the information, or all at least all the rewards. All the rewards will be in there, and I think all the location information as well will be in there for you. So yeah,
Cool.
I think I'm 65. I'm either 65 or 64, and I have a couple that I hadn't turned in yet. There are 2 other places that you can turn mini medals in the game, other than Estard, that you'll unlock eventually. So you don't always have to go back to Estard,
Cool.
including the place that you go where you get the new album, where you get the upgraded album. Yeah, I like this game a lot. It's great. I'm hoping to have it done soon because I do have other things that I want to play. I really want to just get into Yakuza 3 Remastered and get that platinum done and get that grind out of the way. But I've got so much coming out in March, that I'm looking forward to playing.
So it's interesting because I have never looked at a game and said, I can't wait to play this game so I can grind through the achievements.
I've already done the game though. This is like I played this game.
Oh,
This is 3 Remastered. This isn't Kiwami 3. This isn't not this one. Not this beauty here. No. This is 3 Remastered, which I own uh, physically on PS4 twice, and I just bought it digitally, so I have a digital copy of it as well. No, 3 times. No, 2 times. 2 times I own it physically. Yeah, two times. Yeah.
The odds of me going back to a game to grind through the achievements are usually pretty low.
It's extremely low for me. It's really just Yakuza games at this point in my life. I don't really do that, but I've done 0 and Kiwami 1, and next up would technically be Kiwami 2, but Yakuza 3 is gonna suck to do it for, because there are parts of it that are borked, that literally like the aiming for pool does not work. It is broken, and so you have to like account for the brokenness of it. So I'm gonna try and get all that done, so I don't need to think about it ever again. And then when I play Kiwami 3, I'll be able to just enjoy the cleaned up mechanics and whatnot. And then I can go back to Kiwami 2 and do Kiwami 2, which is a much easier platinum and a much more fun platinum. But anyway,
Cool.
Point is, really liking this game. Hoping to finish it soon. I don't know if I'll platinum it or anything. I don't actually know what the full list of trophies are, because I'm just going through, and we'll see where I end up when I finish the
There's
story.
61, and I have 10.
61 trophies?
Yep.
Or achievements? Yeah.
I'm assuming it's the same on every platform.
Yeah, I have. So my game progress says 82. My PlayStation says 68 hours played. That's just because I leave it paused a lot. But my game time on the clock on the in-game is correct. I have 36 trophies.
Here's one. Heroic Hoarder, awarded for collecting all available items.
Yeah.
Unless I get that naturally, nuts to that.
You do get that pretty close to naturally, I think. All available items, I think, means like one of each item. I don't think it literally means every item in the game.
Well, no, but yeah. But there's like I'm sure rare drop weapons or something. I don't know.
No, my understanding of it is everything's either in a chest or purchasable from the store, or you get it by like competing in the Coliseum and doing things to get rewarded. There's no like, from what I can tell, having looked into it briefly, there's no like RNG grind like that. The only grind is going to be leveling up, because getting yourself to level 99 is going to take metal slimes most likely.
Gotcha. All right. Well, anything else for this one, or time to move on?
Yeah, let's move on to the next one. I don't even know what we're at on time because of our technical difficulties here. So
this is going to be a shorter wild card, so we're going to be good.
Yeah.
So it's Valentine's Day, and Valentine's Day has to do with your relationships with other people. And if you're anything like me, that doesn't entirely center around gaming. It's about you as a complete person. So today's wild card is, what are your non-gaming interests and why? Maybe a little bit to explain more of who we are to people. And I'll let you go first.
No, you start. I'm curious about you.
I mean, mine's going to be, I will try to keep it as brief as possible. I do like games. I've been playing games since I was very small. I think we talked about it before we started it. But when I was a kid, even after I had an Atari, like, it wasn't playing video games, it was playing Nintendo. So everything growing up was a Nintendo, whether it was a Sega or anything else. So that being said, that's not all I do. I'm a fairly avid runner. This week, so one of my happy places I should have put was, I did secure my place for the
Disney marathon,
the Disney Wine and Dine 10K and half marathon. So I'll be doing the half marathon for the 10th year in a row, and the 2-course challenge for the marathon for the half marathon for the 11th year in a row, and the 2-course challenge for the 10th year in a row. I'm a one away from being a perfect challenger, which sadly, if I had done that the first year, I wouldn't have to get a place in the race, because it would be automatic for me. But, you live and you learn. So that being said,
when is it?
It is October 25th, 26th, I think. Whatever that weekend is. Saturday will be the 10K, and Sunday will be the half marathon. So we're going to be at Disney. So don't rob my house, please. That weekend.
Nice. Maybe I'll come down.
I used to run more races. COVID kind of killed that for me. I did try to get into the Cherry Blossom, which I love to do in DC, not only because it's a good race, because I get to go see my kid in DC. That is one of the biggest races in the country, and it's a lottery system, and I did not make the lottery. So next year I'll try again. It's a wonderful race. I run typically 4 days a week. That's partially how I got my Switch. My workplace has a fitness program where you can trade in points given from activities and healthy habits to get all kinds of gift cards and stuff. So I cashed in a bunch of for Amazon gift cards. That's how I got my
Nice.
Switch 1. So that's how I got my Switch 2. Um, when it gets a little warmer, I have a group of bike friends and we get together 2, 3 times a week and we bike during the week. We have a biking club and we have a larger group of people who bike with us then. And then on the weekends, we typically bike as our smaller group. So I do a lot of outdoor activities like that. I love being out there. Biking and running are completely different to me, and I love different things about them. I tell people that you'll never get the sense of speed you have when you're running because you can't run. I can't run that fast. But like going down a hill at 45 miles an hour on a bike, it's thrilling and it's a lot of fun, and I love doing that. At the same time, I've never gotten high from riding a bike, but I have gotten runner's highs on several times, and I kind of feel like you're always chasing that. As an extension to that, my wife and I are pretty big Disney fans. I grew up going to Disney World. I was at Disney World when I was an infant. My mom, I think Joe may know this about me. My mom grew up in Florida, so my grandparents lived in DeLand,
Hmm.
and we would go visit them every year for Easter, and we would always go to one of the Disney parks. So I've been my first stuffed animal, I believe, was a Pooh Bear stuffed animal, which is partially why I love Pooh Bear. So I grew up with that. We took my kid for his 5th birthday and his 10th birthday, and after that we started doing the races, and so we that's part of our trip. On most years, we'll go a couple times a year. This year may just be for the race. We'll see, TBD. But we love going to the Disney parks. We were there for Halloween last year and went to the Halloween party before my race. Um, I have been to all of the festivals at Epcot, and I love all of them in different ways. I'd like to get back for the Flower and Garden Festival this spring. I don't know if that's going to work out, but hope springs eternal. What else do I like to do? I like to cook. I'm a pretty good cook. I'm not a professional chef. I am untrained, but it's rare that I can't do something, and I'm pretty good at stuff whenever I do it. I like to smoke foods. I've got a Kamado smoker on my deck, and I've gotten really good with ribs, I will say. There's other stuff that I'd like to do more frequently, but a lot of it takes so long, and I'm not the kind of person who likes to sit around and do things for too long. Even when I play video games, like 2 hours is about my maximum that I'm interested in doing something, and then I want to go do something else. Um, so
Goodness.
that yeah, that like if I have to cook a brisket for like 14 hours, that's a lot of time. Even if I'm able to do other things while I'm doing it, it's just a lot of time to focus on things. I
Interesting.
like I love beer, love alcohol. I try not to drink too much of it, so I'm good with that. But I'm a big fan of barley wines. I'm a big fan of stouts. There's not much I don't like. We talked about drinks earlier in the show, so I won't
Hmm.
spend too much time on that. Um, that's a lot of the big stuff. I've been in IT or IT related stuff for my entire career, so I like hardware. If I could just be a hardware person, I'd probably love to do that. I like building my own computer. I like tinkering with my own computer.
You could be Byron
Um,
Tech Tips.
yeah, probably won't happen. I don't think that I'm as marketable as he is or as young. Um, yeah, that's kind of me in a nutshell, I guess. I
Mm.
have a kid. I'll get to see him in a couple weeks. He's going to come down and we'll be able to hang out. He had a 21st birthday this week. He's still alive, which is good. A lot of people, overdo it for their 21st birthday.
I did.
I did as well. My little tidbit of my life is for my 21st birthday, I did skip school the next day. It was spring convocation. And so I skipped school, woke up with a hangover, met my then girlfriend, now wife, for convocation, which was a speech by James Earl Jones. So I got
Nice.
to see James Earl Jones for my birthday, for my 21st birthday. And then afterwards, I got to go watch Wake Forest with back when Tim Duncan was there, play Georgia Tech, and I got to see my parents. Went out to dinner with my parents. So all in all, it was a pretty good birthday. Not many people get to say they got to see James Earl Jones for their 21st birthday.
My 21st birthday was on a Sunday, so I got to celebrate it on Saturday night, because midnight hit.
Yep. I was in line at the grocery store at 11:59, and as soon as it hit 12, I checked out. I was like, "Yep, I can buy this now.
um, yeah, that's cool. It's really nice that you have so many outside interests and things beyond games. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, gaming is like 80% of my life when it comes to leisure, and not obviously work and whatnot. But
Work is not leisure.
right, that's what I said. When it comes to leisure,
Right.
so we're not
Not
counting
work.
work.
Okay.
Yeah, so not counting work and all that stuff in terms of time. I I like games. I just do. It is my primary interest. I listen to gaming podcasts, and I just enjoy engulfing myself in the gaming world. So that really is my main thing. Outside of games, I do like reading books from time to time. I'm currently reading the Expanse book series because there's a game that's coming out called Expanse: The Expanse Osiris Reborn, and it looks like it might be a phenomenal game. And I wanted to make sure that I'd read the first two books at least because it said that it's set between like it's around that time frame. So I'm like, all right, well then I'm gonna read those books, and so I read them. I really enjoyed them, so I decided to just keep going. I'm in the third one. I'm like 100 and some odd pages into it now. There's like 9 books I think in the series, so it's long. Um, Outside of that, I really like TV shows. I'm not a big movie guy. I'll watch movies when there's something that interests me. I like Marvel movies and whatnot, like a lot of people do. I know people make fun of them, but I still go and I see them all. I like TV shows. I have been watching NCIS, the original NCIS TV show, since 2011. I want to say, or 2010, because it was season 7 is when I started watching their show.
Is NCIS the one that had a New Orleans
Mm-hmm.
spinoff? Okay, so I may or may not be in an episode of that. I don't know. I walked through a shooting location where they had signs out in New Orleans that says we're currently filming NCIS New Orleans. If
Yeah,
you walk down this street, you're consenting to being in. And I was like, okay, I don't care.
yeah, that was the one that starred. Blanking on his name. Quantum Leap. Who's the Quantum Leap guy?
Scott Bakula.
Scott Bakula. Yeah, it starred Scott Bakula.
Hmm.
Yeah. Why I could think of Quantum Leap but couldn't think of Scott Bakula, I don't know. But yeah, he starred in that for a number of seasons. And yeah, it's got an NCIS Sydney, Australia spinoff, and it had an LA spinoff, or has an LA spinoff, and it's got an Origin spinoff, which focuses on the original main character of the show, but set like 20 years earlier, or something like that, or 15 years earlier. Yeah, I love television shows, and I've been a big TV fan for a really long time. Jing and I, we like to watch TV shows when we eat dinner. So we watched most of Everybody Loves Raymond, which she'd never seen. We're gonna go back to it, but right now we're actually working through Emily in Paris because I'd never seen Emily in Paris, and she really really loves that show and wanted to watch it. And I was like, yeah, that sounds good. I'm happy to check out a new show, especially a funny show. And that's been really enjoyable. So watching TV is a really big part of what I like to do. I'm always keeping up or caught up on them. I have all the streaming services and stuff for the shows that I watch. When I was between games, I caught up on all the Marvel animated things for the MCU that I hadn't seen. So I watched Eyes of Wakanda and Marvel Zombies and whatnot that I hadn't caught up on.
My problem
And
with TV is there's too much of it. Like
there
this,
is a lot of it.
I've not seen The Mandalorian yet, and I think that I would like it, but
I
like
watched The
it's just
Mandalorian.
there's just so much stuff.
So I have found that I in the same way that I am very selective with games that I play, but when I pick one that I'm going to play, I go hardcore into it. I'm the same way with TV shows. So if I'm going to watch a show, I'm watching that show. So that's why I've never stopped watching NCIS over the last, 15 years or 16 years. Like I'm just going to watch the show until it's not there anymore. I very rarely fall off of shows. Like I used to watch Family Guy. I fell off of Family Guy at some point in time. But I tend to finish the things that I start when it comes to TV shows. But yeah, shows are a huge part of what I like to do, and in a good and bad way, I guess. TV shows on networks have gotten worse over time, and so there's less of them that I care about. I care about fewer of these shows, and so I don't watch new things. I don't really. I used to add new TV shows every year. They'd add new sitcoms, and I'd start watching. But like, I'm trying to remember what the last new sitcom that had any sort of longevity to it was, and it's probably like maybe Georgie and Mandy that's gonna have that's in its second season, which is a Young Sheldon spinoff, which is a Big Bang Theory spinoff, and before that, like did you ever watch New Girl? Zoe
Nope.
Deschanel's New Girl. So New Girl, Max Greenfield, who played Schmidt, had a show with Cedric the Entertainer called The Neighborhood that's about to end this year, but that's on its eighth season. Like there are these shows that are running for a long time, but it's been a minute since I've had a lot of new things that I'm interested in. So
The last
uh,
sitcom I remember watching on network TV was probably Parks and Rec, that or
mhm.
30 Rock, whichever one was later.
Yeah, I'm not
Probably
sure
Parks
which
and
was
Rec.
later. I never watched either of those, but I don't I don't like either of those actresses. So
I love them.
and so yeah, that's my interest in TV. Outside of like media stuff, I guess I'm a dancer. I think you know this, Byron. You may or may not know this. I don't know, but I line dance, or I used to line dance a lot when I lived in Florida. I was a regular at a local country bar there, and I knew a whole bunch of line dances. And there, I go through spurts of going there frequently and not. Uh, Jing really likes to go as well when she has time and she's in the area, but she's always so busy that we never really had an opportunity. We went a couple times together, but we did not have as many opportunities. And going out to bars, as I'm sure you can speak to, Byron, kind of loses something when your significant other's not there with you and you kind of just want to like hang out with them.
It's lonely to go by yourself. Yes, the people who
Yeah.
go to bars by themselves. I'm not going to comment on them. I will say that's not what I'm looking for to be.
Yeah. I don't mind go this go, I would clarify that going to bars by yourself when you're in a relationship versus when you're
It
single.
depends on what you're
Obviously,
looking for. If you're just going and hanging out at bars by yourself, that may speak to larger things. If you're going because, hey, I'm going to go out and get dinner and maybe have a drink, that's different.
yeah,
But
I mean, there's a pub near here that I go to that I go by myself. It's a pub. I go, I grab a dinner, and sometimes I get a drink, and then I come home because Jing wants to do something different with her food for the night. But yeah, in terms of like act like the country bars I go to are like dancing places, so it's drinking and dancing. That's all it is, and it's fun to do, and I like going. And I'd go by myself even still, but it just loses something. So I just don't go as often as I used to ever since we started dating because I would spend weekends with her in Jacksonville, or I would be by myself, but I'd be tired and want to stay home and play my games. And games always took priority for me over anything. So, yeah, I like dancing. I'd like to get back there more. I'm hoping that, assuming we do get to move back to Florida at some point, we'll start getting to go together. And because she really enjoyed learning the dances and doing the dances. She's not a big drinker. She likes beer and drinking a little bit. She tries to avoid it for the most part. I'm also not that big of a drinker, but I like to have a good time. It's just things drinks are so expensive going out now. It's like the well drinks are like $7 now or whatever. It's crazy.
they are.
Um, so it's not worth it. I would rather just dance and have fun than bother with that. But yeah, those are my big things. I really want to wrap it up. I really want to get more into playing mahjong. I learned mahjong playing the Yakuza games, and I really fell in love with playing the game. And I've played in person once before, but I have not had an opportunity to play in person again since. I'll play in Yakuza games or I'll play like online sometimes, but Richie Mahjong specifically is really fun. You should, if you ever come to Florida and I'm there, Byron, we should go play Mahjong together. You can learn how to play. It's like
I might
making,
be interested.
it's fun. It's genuinely it's tricky, but it's fun.
I like board games, so I
Yeah.
probably would like. And I like card games. I'm not a big gambler, but I do like. I like hearts. I like spades. I like bridge.
Yeah, so this is, let me show you one thing really quick that I have. I always have this available for easy access, but um this is what it looks like for you to see. This is what all the different winning hands of mahjong
Jeez.
are. Like there are very specific combinations of things that you have to hit in order to have a winning hand in mahjong. And the scoring system, I don't even know what this says. I don't even know how to read this. This is the scoring system. We let other people handle the scoring. But in terms of the actual playing, I know very well how to play the game. And I have a lot of fun doing it. And I think you might enjoy it as well because it's a tabletop game. It is a gambling game in historically, but you don't usually gamble. You just have like little sticks that you throw in and you know for points. We don't play
So
for
let me
money.
let me caution you: if you're relying on somebody else to tell you how to score things, please do not gamble on that game.
No, it's not gambling. No, it's again, it's just for fun. Yeah. And that's it. It's those are my interests outside. I know it's nowhere near as interesting as Byron's outdoors activities and running and food and
Everybody does their
wine,
own
but
thing.
I don't know, like Jing is so busy in life and I have a work from home job. I'm hoping, and I know she's hoping too, but I'm hoping that when we have reached the point in life where we're both fully established professionals where she's not learning and she has more control over her schedule, we can start finding things to do together that we both enjoy and have that kind of free time. which is something we don't have the luxury of at the moment, unfortunately. So until
It'll get there.
then, this is what we do. What was
Yeah,
that?
it'll get there. It'll get there.
Yeah.
As she gets established, it'll get there.
Yeah, I hope so. I certainly hope so. But yeah, that's it.
Cool.
Well, let's
Well, good
close the
topic.
show out. Yeah.
Yep.
Anything else you want to say?
Nope. I think we're good for now.
No. Oh, right. I forgot to pull up the upcoming games. So let me look that up really quick.
I was thinking there were none.
I just didn't look. I completely forgot. Let me pull it up really quickly here. And we have the games of 2026. We are in February now. So for the weeks the 15th through the 21st, let's see, anything interesting coming out starting the 15th. Avowed is coming to PlayStation 5 on February 17th. Please check that out. Please check my review on Season Gaming for my thoughts on Avowed. I really liked Avowed. It is definitely better for me personally than Outer Worlds 2, which I know is controversial to some people, but I just think that is the case. I forget, you played Avowed, right?
Yep. I'm most of the way through it.
Yeah. You should finish it. It was good. I really liked it a lot. And then I think that's it. That's the only thing noteworthy this week that's coming out. I'm looking at some other things here. Nothing else interests me on this list, and I don't think anything interests you either. I guess I'll call out Ease 10 Proud Nordics. I think it's a re-release of Ease 10, which is from Nihon Falcom, which are the people who make the Trails game. And since I love Trails so much, I'll shout out their other major franchise just to be courteous to them, because they need more money so they can make more Trails games, more Trails remakes. But yeah, that'll do it for games upcoming this week. Avowed, please check it out. It is better than people make it out to be. It's not as good
okay.
It's not as good as Pillars. It's definitely not as good as Pillars, but it is better than people make it out to be. And I look forward to see what they do next in the Pillars universe, because they confirmed that there are more Avowed universe, Pillars universe things coming. So, all right, Byron, where can people find you?
Blue Sky Radio for Europe.
All right, you can find me on
a lot
Twitter.
Of wrestling things. I'm sorry, I
right.
post wrestling things on there. That's one of the things I left out of my personal stuff. But that's about it for what I post on Blue Sky. Not much gaming stuff.
You can find me at Joseph_La_Russa on Twitter/X. You can find my writing at Season Gaming as Don Lionheart. As I said earlier, I have the Pragmata review as my assigned to me, or I'm supposed to be the one doing it. So that will be in a couple months. Before that, we'll see what I can get access to. I may do a Greedfall one. I may do a Life is Strange one.
I'll finish Pragmata this week.
The demo, that'll take you like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do the demo. I'm just going to wait until the game comes out or until we get code for it and take it from there. But that's it for me. And thank you, everyone, again, so much for watching. We really appreciate it. Please leave comments and likes and subscribe. Give Byron his ability to give away the game that he wants to give away. What, you got something?
Yeah. I'll say near 7:30 p.m. Eastern time on Thursday. I'll play it again.
Hopefully it'll be new content this time.
Oh, God, it's new content.
And with that, everybody, thank you once again. Remember, whether it's your gen, my gen, or someone else's, friends can be cross-generation.
Goodbye, everybody.
Take care, all.